What up? What up? What up? Welcome to Just Talk with S. It's your girl Sherelle, and welcome to my podcast. This is only my second episode, so like I said before, y'all gotta bear with me. Today we're gonna talk about hypocrites, people who go against or live against or act against everything that they say, everything that they do. First, I'm gonna start this off by saying the definition of a hypocrite is someone who portrays to believe or live a certain lifestyle as opposed to what they actually do. Your actions are most definitely not lining up with the words that you speak out of your mouth. Now, let's talk about me and my encounter with it. Um I said a statement. I say a lot of things, let me say this, but I did say one statement that really embedded me into whether I was going to stand by my word or go against it. And I wouldn't say I went against it, but I did completely just undermine what I said as opposed to what I said that I do. Now, you have preachers, prophets, ministers, people like myself. You have people who will say one thing, but behind closed doors, out of the public view, will completely do something different. You have people who will take the word, read the word, try to break down the word, and then turn around and say, yeah, I ain't gonna do that. I'll paint the image for you. I'll say this is what you need to do. Da da da. It's pretty much feeding somebody what they want to hear as opposed to what you need to be teaching them. As opposed to, my bad, not teaching them, but as opposed to you living by what you say. One thing I never really understood with people who read the Bible, with people who try to teach and people who try to show people the way is how are you going to take the word, break the word, feed the word to somebody, but when it comes time for you to actually abide and go by the word, oh, you ain't nowhere to be found. Oh, it don't apply to you. Or this. Take this for example. You can run into a person that has a past. You can run into a person that has baggage. You can run into a person that has been at the most broken state of mind. And they act, react, say, and do things out of whatever reason for it. But it's okay for you to pinpoint. It's okay for you to dictate. It's okay for you to single them out and their problems. But when you take that same scenario and you flip it onto somebody else, oh, it don't work because I was a baby. Oh, it don't work because I was in this mind frame. Or it don't work because this is what happened to me to cause me to do what I did. Everybody, and I mean everybody, has a past. Everybody has a part of them that they used to be and that they're growing to become something different, do something different, or whatever the case is. But there is nobody that can say, I'm perfect. I've never done anything wrong. I've never I've never done anybody bad. Nobody can say, oh, I'm perfect. I don't come with baggage. I don't have problems. I don't this, I don't that. And a lot of people will have this mind frame of, if you don't tell me, you lying. If you don't expose it to me, you're lying. If I ask you a question and I already know the answer, and you give me whatever answer you give me based off of whatever it is that you want to give me, you're lying. People aren't made the same. Everybody's mindset isn't the same. When you meet people and you encounter people, before you decide that you want to preach the word, before you decide that you want to use scripture, before you decide that you want to use discernment or your spiritual lens or whatever for them, you got to understand where people are. People aren't where you are. You have to meet a person where they are and decide whether you're going to be willing to help them grow, to succeed, or are you just going to be like, okay, this is not a situation. I'm not in the fixing mood. I'm not in the growing mode. I'm not trying to water no seeds. I want someone to be air quote, where I am. And then we can go. You're never going to run into somebody who has the same mind frame as you, the mindset. They're not going to be on the same level mentally. If you're not willing to meet an individual where they are Let me not even say that again because that should just be common sense. But if you're unwilling to listen and to learn, if you're unwilling to listen twice as much than you speak and try to understand another perspective, hear another angle, hear what somebody else has to say, how can you consistently say, oh, I'm going to teach this, I'm going to teach that person, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that? You can't teach if you're not willing to learn. And the day that you stop learning will be the day, I hope, the good Lord calls you home. Every day you wake up is a new learning experience. Every day that you go to sleep, then hopefully you learned something. A lot of the people that I've encountered in life from the time I was 16 all the way up until I was 24, neither one of them wanted to listen. Maybe they thought, oh, she's young, she don't know what she's talking about. Maybe they thought, oh, she's been through so much, so let me try to teach her. No, I've been through so much and I've learned a lot. And I feel like a lot of the things I've learned, if you haven't been through them, if you haven't had to deal with it, then that is most definitely something that you can learn. That is most definitely something you can have insight on. I'm not one of those who gonna consistently sit there and say, I know it, 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 I know everything, and you don't know nothing. Because not only do I listen with the intent of understanding, correcting anything that I have wrong, or fixing any problems, I listen with the intent of, okay, I heard you. I'm processing. Now listen to what I gotta say. I always listen with the intent of rebutting. And it's not rebutting in a negative way. It's not rebutting or, oh my God, every time I say something, you gotta say something. No, it's not. Because if I sit there and I just soak up everything that you have to say to me and I never put out what I got to say, then nobody cares. Like, I feel like nobody cares about what I have to say and my understanding about it. All I'm gonna say is if you have good friends, if you have genuine people in your corner, keep them near and dear to you. Keep them by your side because once they're gone, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be out here saying stuff that you know you don't live by. Even if you're working on it, I give you that. If you're working on it, then that's a different thing. But if you literally just out here talking out the side of your neck just to be heard, just to paint whatever facade, just to do this, just to do that, then don't. Then don't. It's so many people want to live a lie. And that used to be me. Don't get me wrong. I had this real bad thing of living a lie. And I say living a lie based on I don't want nobody to know when I'm struggling. I don't want nobody to know when I'm dealing with a problem. I don't want nobody to know. I don't want to be judged. I've been judged my whole life. So when I got to the point where I felt like I'm supposed to have it all together, I'm supposed to know this, I'm supposed to know that, even if I don't, because I was never taught. No one ever brought it up to me. Nobody ever said anything about it. And I had to go through it in order to learn about it. I never wanted to be the one that somebody had a reason to look down on or to be like, dang, she ain't got it all together. Dang, her life is falling apart. Like, I never wanted to be that person. And I know it sounds weird. Don't get me wrong. But that's who I am. But I'm slowly learning. Like, everybody isn't always on top. Everybody isn't always going to make it. Everybody isn't always going to be okay, you know? So once I got that set in stone, I feel like if I find the genuine people in my corner, the people who care, I don't mind expressing my problems, letting you know what's going on so that you and me together, if you're a true friend, can try to figure it out, can try to work it out. But y'all be safe out there. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And I'll see y'all on episode 3 for Just Talk with Is. And hopefully I'll have a special guest or someone. Even if I don't, I'll be back. But thank y'all for listening. My YouTube is the same as my TikTok, Facebook, all of that. Twitter, SSH, ESS, ESSACHE.